Hi guys, it's the 6th of April 2020. Hope the new haircut isn't too distracting for you, but I just wanted to give you a quick drill called Supine 90-90 breathing to help you correct your breathing mechanics. So why is it important that we breathe correctly? Well, when we breathe using proper mechanics, we generate something called intra-abdominal pressure in our abdomen, so down here. This is caused because the diaphragm drops down, pushing all of the internal organs down as well. And as the exhalation muscles expand, pressure increases inside of our abdomen, intra-abdominal pressure. Now, IAP is incredibly important, first and foremost for stabilization of your lumbar spine, of your lower back. Our lumbar spine actually has quite solid muscular attachments on the back of us, with things like multifidus attaching there. But on the front of your lumbar spine, you actually have zero muscular attachments there. The closest thing you have is your diaphragm, which has two legs that come down like this, one attaching to L2 and the other one attaching to L3. But from L4, L5, all the way to S1, so the top of your sacrum, you actually have zero muscular attachments on the front of your spine stabilizing you. So the only thing you have stabilizing you here is the pressure you generate when you breathe, intra-abdominal pressure. Secondly, your body takes the force that you generate on inhalation, your intra-abdominal pressure, and then sends that through various anatomical connections to the outside world, to the rest of your body. So when you generate good pressure, good core stability, your body uses that to then send force out to the rest, to the lower leg and the upper arm, and the arm as well. So how then do we breathe correctly? What are the correct breathing mechanics? Well, you might have heard of belly breathing, and people being encouraged to breathe through their belly. And whilst this is correct to an extent, it's just missing some things. So your diaphragm is your primary inhalation muscle. So what that means is when you inhale, we're looking for your diaphragm to be concentrically contracting and dropping down. As this happens, your exhalation muscles, such as your transversus abdominis, internal oblique, external oblique, are going to eccentrically load, which means they're going to stretch, okay? Which is what gives the belly breathing, because we want to see these muscles stretch. But your transversus abdominis, your TVA, attaches up to rib 7, and your internal oblique attaches up to rib 10. So naturally, you're also going to get some rib cage expansion. It is important. So from rib 7 through 10, you want to see anterior and lateral expansion and some posterior expansion of the ribs, quite actively as well. But from ribs 1 through 6, so pretty much down here to the tip of your xiphoid process on your sternum, ribs 1 through 6 should passively expand via the negative air vacuum that's being created in the thorax. But by far the most common presentation I see when I assess people's breathing is that they are actively expanding through their upper six ribs and breathing chest expansion, shoulder hiking, and using muscles in the neck like scalenes and levator scapula in the back as well. So what we use, and one of the best drills we have to train this ability, is something called Supine 90-90. And this is the position of the baby up until about 3 months old. So the baby actually spends 3 months breathing 25,000 times a day, training to build proper intra-abdominal pressure so that they earn the right to then move the limbs on a stable platform. So when was the last time you spent 2.5 million reps training something? I can probably guarantee that the last time you did that was when you were 3 months old with your breathing. So a few cues for the drill. You want to keep your neck long and your chin tucked back, not down, just tucked back a little bit. This is going to keep your cervical spine in a neutral position and ensure that the innervation down to your diaphragm via the phrenic nerve isn't being compromised at its cervical spinal levels. Next, you want to keep your chest nice and wide and your ribs pulled slightly down. This is going to put your diaphragm in a position to succeed and actually drop down, rather than with your ribs flared out, the diaphragm dropping out, okay? And lastly, the diaphragm is then going to cue these exhalation muscles, TVA, IAO, EAO, to actually expand, eccentrically load, and build intra-abdominal pressure. So, you're going to lie flat on your back, nice and simple. You're going to keep your neck long, chin tucked back, chest wide, ribs pulled down. That's your neutral position. From here, you're going to lift your legs up. This is where the 90-90 comes from, because we've got 90 degrees at the hip, 90 degrees at the knee. If this is too challenging, you can get a surface to rest your feet on, like the sofa. But this is the position I'm showing you today. And then from here, you can put your hands on your lower rib cage to ensure that you're actually expanding through ribs 7 and 10. You're going to take a nice breath in. Feel the expansion to the front and to the sides, a little bit to the back as well. And then exhale by shushing. So you can see that I was prolonging my exhale and making my exhale longer than my inhale. So that's Supine 90-90. It's going to help you build proper intra-abdominal pressure and stabilize your lumbar spine.